Rashidat, where are you?
I'm here, sir.
Good afternoon.
Hello, I'm here. Good afternoon, sir.
I want you to describe a live sport match that you have watched.
A what, sir?
A live sports match that you have watched.
Live sports match. Okay, a live sports match I watched. The sport I watched was actually football, and I watched it live on television. This was a football match between Nigeria and Brazil. If I could remember, I watched it some years ago, several years ago, about 20 years. I think it was an Olympic game. It was the final match between Nigeria and Brazil then. And what I could remember vividly about the match was that everybody was at alert about the match. Everybody wanted to watch the outcome of the match. There were many people. I was not married then. It was my daddy's living room. And we had lots of people present there just to see what the outcome of the match would be. So the match began well, and I think the match initially ended in a draw, which brought about the both teams being asked to play penalty kicks. I remember now that the match ended up favoring Nigeria because Nigeria became victorious at the end of the day, and everybody was just elated about the whole situation. That made that I had the feeling that feeling again when I saw another match recently that Nigeria played a country. I forgot the name. The match too was a well-watched one that had lots of people to
Rashidat, can you hear me?
wanting to know.
Hello, Rashidat. Rashidat, can you?
Hello.
All right.
I'm hearing you.
All right. Thank you very much. You were to describe a live sport match, not two. So the moment you finish that one, you wouldn't need to snowball into another one. It's just one that you are asked to describe. Then few things that you have to observe, because it's possible that you so much want to be factual, and you want to express the only one that you can remember. And I'm sure you're talking about Atlanta 96, as far back as
Yes, sir.
as far back as 1996. I'm not really sure you'll be able to describe vividly what you actually watched then. And if you care, you are able to, or by now you can still remember everything that actually happened that time, then you should be able to paint the happenings that time in such a way that it will take us on a journey. It will take your examiner on a journey to flashback and see from your painting the actual thing that happened during the match. What you have done was just like a summary of what happened. Oh, you were in your dad's living room. Yes, a lot of people were there watching the same match. It was tense. It ended in draw. And eventually at the extra time, Nigeria became victorious and everybody was elated. And that was all. That was like summary. You were to describe. When you were to describe, you have to paint a picture. Your description should paint picture of the real happening, of the real thing. For example, if I were you, I would have loved to talk about how tense the whole country was during that match. it was in the military era where every street in my city was desolate. People were indoor watching this one match because it was a special match to everyone in the country. And it happened that even the country's footballers were not really doing well the first half. During the second half, they picked up when they changed some players on the pitch and brought some people from the bench. You see the vocabularies I was using: pitch, bench. You're talking about sports. And it was a tension-soaked match. Your choice of vocabulary will paint the picture of that happening. And you will be able to show, you will be able to show that, oh, that match was remarkable because people were filled with tension and people were eventually happy because at the end of the day, Nigeria was victorious against a country like Brazil, the best in the world as at that time. You understand what I'm saying? So let's the emotion behind remembering that day come to play when you are explaining yourself, when you are describing. Then this H intrusion still came up. Halat, everybody was halat. You wanted to say alert, not halat. So Rashidat, please take note of this. I love the vocabulary elated. We were elated. Very good. Elated. It's a very good way of resolving a tension-soaked match. And you said what the outcome of the match will be. As if you were saying nobody knew what the outcome of the match will be. Knew, would. That's the concord. Nobody knows. The knows, will. That's the concord. That's your tense there. I want you to mind that. Thank you very much. I think I have Mentor Shade in the house now.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I wasn't online when we were making analysis of my speaking. So would I be able to access this thing on YouTube, or because I didn't get every correction you made about what I said.
Okay,
And
I
really
was
want to
I spoke
very, very...
Okay, I spoke about your H intrusion when you wanted to pronounce alert, ALERT, and that word is alert, not alert. So it was as if you were inciting H at the beginning of that word to sound alert, whereas it's alert. Then I commended your use of vocabulary elated, and I pointed out few things also that you should have used to paint the picture of that event, of that match that was so remarkable enough for you to remember. So you should be able to take your examiner on a journey to that match.
Don't mind me. I can't even remember anything about the match.
I understand you are not really a sport person, but make sure you prepare for anything. You know, you won't be able to tell your examiner that, oh, actually I don't watch sports. But I think you can actually say that even in the background, even though you are remembering one particular match, you want to say, oh, anyway, I'm not really a sports lover or football match lover, but I think I can really remember that there was a particular match. Then you begin to analyze. Do you understand what I'm saying? Thank you very much, Rashidat. How are you doing today?
I'm good, sir.
I'm sure if you were the one that was asked the question about sports, I'm sure you butcher it very well. Am I correct?
Very correct, sir.
Okay, but your own question is not on sports. I want you to describe an article on health that you read in a magazine or on the internet.
Articles generally are a means of publishing information for people to read and also gain a lot from. Now, a particular health condition I read in an article is about diabetes mellitus. Uh, Diabetes mellitus is a chronic condition in which there is high level of glucose in the blood. Now, the fascinating part of this health condition is that people who have this condition are divided into two. There is type 1 and there is type 2, in which the type 1 are people that will be based on insulin injection for the rest of their life, while the type 2 can be managed with oral hypoglycemic drugs such as metformin. Now, there are symptoms to that, which I also read in the article, that people who have this disease condition will present some symptoms such as polyphagia, polyuria. Polyphagia is polyuria is excessive urination, and there are also complications to this disease condition. For example, there is neuropathy, which will affect the nerves of the affected people, and it can also affect their eyes too. So in general, I read about the prevention, the treatment options available for this condition, and it's very interesting to read because most of this condition, sorry, can be managed with diet, and dietary regulation of this can also help the body system to regulate the sugar to some extent. Meanwhile, in severe cases, patients are taught how to inject insulin at home, that is to self-administer these drugs at home, because like I said earlier, it's a chronic condition, so the patients are not going to be in the hospital throughout their life.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There is a particular problem that is very prominent in your presentation, and you have to be very careful merging what you have read with your narration. Now, at a point, you were actually dishing out information in which I believe it was not, I mean, those pieces of information might not really be what you have actually read from the article. Yes, fine, allowed, but you must make sure that you relate it. Let's know that you actually read about so and so in the article. And according to that article, you understand, before you begin to tell us it is all this vocabulary, all these jargons of health profession and all those stuff. So it's one of those questions that may give people like you, especially people in the health profession, opportunity to actually bamboozle and nail your examiner. Whatever name you call, your examiner may not be a health official. And whatever name you call, if you don't interpret it, you leave your examiner at that point of not understanding whatever you have expressed. So you have opportunity to dish out special vocabularies, special jargons about your profession, and tell us few interpretation as if you're actually even educating us. It is allowed. But now you are narrating what you read, what you have read in a particular article. Then each time, let us know that, okay, even this that I'm still saying is still from the article. So that will in a way affect your tense. I had fascinating parts. Good. The type one are people. No, that's not a very good expression. You don't say the type one are people that. You can say the type one involves people that are this and this and this. You cannot describe a people as type one. No. You can only say type one involves people that are. I hope you understand my explanation.
Yes, sir.
There was a place you said I read in the article that, and it is very interesting to read. It is very, I read. Then you say it is very interesting to read. It was very interesting to read. It was very interesting to read. And except you want to do it in such a way that, and you have the opportunity, you have the option to do that too. If we're talking about a book, a newspaper, or something, a printed material, something that is static, we usually use present tense. And that's why you find our expressions, literary minds in literature. If you read a literature and you want to retell the story, we will ask you to tell the story in present tense. Because whatever you are saying is still static, is still present in that paper, and that paper is still available any day. So it depends on the way you present it. For example, I can decide to say, I read a particular article on diabetes, and I was able to understand few things. You know, that's full stop. I can decide to now to say, I now understand why there are two types in cases of diabetes. You know, I'm actually narrating now in present. I have told you that I have read. Yes, I read. And I understood certain things. That one's correct. Then I begin to say, well, I have now discovered that diabetes has two types, the type 1 and type 2, or type A or type B. Then I begin to talk as an expert now, who has actually read a particular article and is dishing out information from that article directly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Richie, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for today. Where is Cynthia?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm
Hi.
here, sir.
We called you the other time you were not available. How are you doing today?
It was, I'm doing great, sir.
All right. I want you to describe a plan in your life that is not related to your work or your study.
Okay, sir. I would like to talk about a plan that I like that is not related to my profession. Though I'm a nurse by profession, but I like producing liquid soap and detergent. Though the production of liquid soap and detergent is out of my profession, but I cherish it because in my home, I use this liquid soap and detergents a lot in my laundries, washing of my clothes, making my home look neat and beautiful. Though there are some disadvantage in handling the chemicals which are used in producing these detergents and liquid soap. During production, if these uh, if these chemicals are not handled properly, it can injure me or my children if they are not if they are not far from where I'm doing the production, though in terms of time management with my profession and this job, there are some disadvantages too. Sometimes when I'm in short of this detergent or liquid soap, and I have also other works to do, it might deprive me of maybe not carrying out my daily activities, maybe taking care of my children because I want to do that production. And also the amount, though I sell some of these liquid soap and detergent in order to add up to my my finances, but sometimes people that I sell to may not meet up with my demand because of the quality I
All
give to
right.
them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
And
much.
also,
Thank you very much, Cynthia. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Can you hear
yes,
me?
sir, yes, sir.
All right. Such question as
Yes, I can hear
this
you, sir.
will require you to tell us what it is. Yes, liquid soap making, and it does not have anything to do with your profession. Yes, I was expecting you to start by saying, I plan to do many things in life aside my work and my study. But there is this one plan that I have in mind,
Uh,
that if I'm financially, if I have enough financial backup, and I will be able to expand it and make it a worldwide enterprise. And this enterprise is liquid soap making. Well, I still do it in small quantity in my house for my personal use, domestic use, and for few people around who may want to buy in small quantity. But I intend to expand this business and make it a worthwhile enterprise, because I have this mind that then you begin to tell us the advantages, the disadvantages. Do you understand what I'm saying? What is it
yes,
about?
sir, yes, sir.
Yes, you spoke about the hazard. You spoke about disadvantages. There are few things you may want to add. What you need to do first to make this a worthwhile enterprise. How you will feel if eventually this business, this plan is successful. How will you feel at the end of the day? How fulfilled? Yeah, that's the word. How fulfilled will you be at the end of the day if this enterprise becomes successful? So these are the areas you are to delve into. The ones you have said were very good, part of it. But again, you can build more on this. Yes, you were towing the part of advantages and disadvantages. You were towing the part of a problem that may occur, but you have not been able to explore the other side of
Yes, sir.
more advantages and why you are even interested in engaging in that enterprise. Do you understand? On
Yes,
grammar,
sir, yes, sir.
there are some disadvantage in handling chemicals. There are some disadvantage in handling chemical. What should it be? Disadvantages.
There are disadvantages.
There are some disadvantages, or there are disadvantages in, I told you,
Disadvantages.
yeah, I told you when you use some,
Yes,
many, of course, we expect that the next noun should be in plural. But the moment,
yes, sir.
but there are situations where the noun will be singular. What are those situations? When you write some with that word together, then, for example, someone, somebody, it's just one word. When you say someone or somebody, it's different from when you say somebodies. I'm sure you understand the difference. So when you write some
Yes, sir.
separately as a quantifier, then it has to quantify a noun that is in plural. Thank you very much for today's Cindy.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Taiwo Dokas, are you back? Taiwo Dokas, are you back? All right. Mentor Shade, are you there? I had called to hear from you. Hello, Mentor Shade. All right. I want to appreciate every one of us. This time, I believe it will, why we have picked this time is that it affords us opportunity to have a better network to move about so that we can locate good network so that we can relate together. Unlike in the night, you won't be able. I had somebody one day, the husband was driving her to where they were going to get network, you know, in the thick night. So it's not really advisable. So at least in the afternoon, we will be able
No. I'm on a meeting.
in the afternoon, we will be able to move around to wherever we get network. And like we are doing now, we're recording now, henceforth, but with permission from everyone. With permission from everyone, because when we record, we put on our YouTube, UIA. So when you hear your voice on UIA, when you see your picture, when you see your face on UIA, YouTube channel, you are not unhappy. We have actually taken permission from you. I appreciate everyone for today. I pray that the next time we meet, you're going to come up early enough so that we have as many as possible. And that next time also, we'll do it in such a way that there won't be waiting room. You'll just be able to come in straight into the